How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today as we continue to discuss the Kansas City Chiefs as we get closer to the 2025 NFL campaign. As you guys know, the Chiefs will play against the Los Angeles Chargers, their AFC West division rivals, and potentially their biggest threat to them not winning a 10th consecutive AFC West division championship this season in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Week 1 matchup will kick off on Friday, and I'm excited. I'm excited that football is back. I'm excited to be covering the Kansas City Chiefs for a full season as I jumped on last year, and what a ride it has been. But this episode, rather, of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast, we are going to be breaking down the importance of Week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I've talked about it before. You might have stopped in and checked out the podcast yesterday where we discussed the state of the AFC West. An AFC West that is very deep and could have multiple teams make the playoffs this season. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, they know that their goal is to win the AFC West division and ultimately make it to the Super Bowl once again, going against Sean McDermott's comments and becoming the second NFL franchise in history to make 4 straight Super Bowl appearances. But before you get there and before you look far ahead, we've got to break down Week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, in my mind, I believe that Week 1 for the Chiefs is not a make or break, but it could definitely set up how the next few games are going to go. Especially in the wide receiving room, you've got to stay healthy. You can't afford injuries. This team is already having some concerns with injury on top of Rashee Rice being suspended. You've got to make sure that the offensive line stays intact. All these things, there's all worries that will be in the back of their minds for the entire year. Last year, the Chiefs were injury-ridden. Several players were out due to injury. And yet they were still able to win 15 games and march their way to another Super Bowl appearance. But it all started in Week 1. Now, Week 1, as I just said, is not a make or break. Week 1, though, can tell you immediately how the competition is going to kind of foil out for the AFC and in their division. Now we can almost guarantee that the Chiefs and the Chargers are going to play a very competitive game. They're going to be playing neck and neck football. They're both teams that know each other very well. The head coaches are used to winning, but one of them is going to have to lose. Now I understand that they could finish as a tie, but more likely than not, one of these teams is going to be walking away with a victory. But here's the thing that we are going to have to look for if you're a Chiefs fan. All this talk of the offseason has been surrounded on whether or not the Chiefs would be able to increase their deep ball passes this season. Going overseas, knowing that this is going to be a crucial aim for their season this year, if you're the Chargers, you've got to expect the Chiefs are going to try to launch the ball deep here and there. However, just because the narrative is there that the Chiefs need to improve on the deep ball doesn't mean that they're going to abandon their run game or short game passes. I am hopeful to see what the running back room is going to be able to do in the Week 1 performance, because that will also kind of give you a tell of if this franchise needs to go out and make another trade or get another player at the running back position before the trade deadline, or if they are fine with the team that they've got. I don't see this Kansas City Chiefs team not being open to potentially looking into adding another piece to the puzzle. The Chiefs on paper, especially on the offensive side of the ball this season, looked a lot better, even without Rashee Rice. But if you're needing to have an explosive and commanding narrative going into the entirety of the season, week one is the time to do it for the Kansas City Chiefs. They need to establish themselves as the team to beat. Wow, I've touched on this several times on the podcast. To be the man, you've got to beat the man, and the Kansas City Chiefs are still the man. If they don't go in with that mentality, there will be teams that will run right through them, whether that be the Chargers, the Philadelphia Eagles in week 2, the Detroit Lions are early in their schedule, or even the first half of the season ending with the Buffalo Bills. You got to go into week 1 with the mentality like you're playing a week 18 win or go home game. I know that it's a long season, and I know that I previously said to start off the podcast that it's not a make or break, but it will show you if this Chiefs team is able to put the past in the past. This is a team that is used to winning Super Bowls. We've seen them lose a Super Bowl before while making their appearance and not be able to kind of pick up the pieces. But for a team that is looking to maintain their dynasty, prove that they are still the team to beat. Prove that they are still the team to beat in the AFC West division, and prove that they are better than any of the competition that could come their way on paper and on the field. Week 1, doing it in hostile territory as the visiting team to the Los Angeles Chargers is important. You've got to stay healthy on the offensive side of the ball. You've got to stay strong up on the defensive side of the ball. And you've got to have another season where you are having a lot of breakthrough players, whether that be a guy like Jason Brownlee or Josh Simmons, Brashard Smith, Tyquan Thornton. There's options that need to step forward, and options that if they do step forward, the Chiefs might as well just kind of start running away with the division as is. There's a lot that can go into this season. If they were to lose this game and have it be a close loss, it could prolong their heads being hung low, because keep in mind they lost the Super Bowl. Then you've lost 3 straight in the preseason. If you lose week 1 to Los Angeles Chargers, you are riding a 5-game losing streak dating back to last season, going up against the reigning and defending Super Bowl champions in the Philadelphia Eagles at your home field, kind of as the underdogs. The importance of week 1 for the and potentially the remainder of the season. Be sure you tune in and see. I will be making sure that I give you a full breakdown once the game has concluded. And be sure you check out the podcast. Come tomorrow, we're going to have Zach Gilbert, once again, our other co-beat writer for the Kansas City Chiefs on SI, discussing several things ahead of the new season. And you might even get a record prediction tomorrow. Be sure you check us out. As always, folks, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs as we get into the regular season. You should also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI over on X. Every single story gets posted exclusively free to you. As always, be kind to one another. And I'll see you tomorrow.